declared a declaration that we were going to fight austerity and the economic thinking that is behind it. And that is exactly what we've been doing over the past 2 years.
In the wake of the general election, with Labour proving both the polls and the media wrong, and the Tories on a back foot, with austerity showing no signs of slowing down, the consequences of which seen in the worst possible way in the Grenfell Tower disaster. Local authorities have been hit hard with public sector cuts and pay freezes, and there is a resurgence of anger. People take to the streets today to protest.
Today, the reason why I'm here would be, I would say, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. So, you know, what's going on? You know, are we being ignored? Not just me, you know, millions and millions of people.
What happened in Grenfell Tower is the sort of the symbol of much of what is happening everywhere in all services in the country today.
As far as I am concerned, there is no future for me raising children in this country. There is no education, there are no jobs at the end of it, there's no way they'll ever buy a house, there's going to be no NHS by the time they're adults. Why in the ever-living hell should I stay here? You want me to be patriotic? Fix the place. I'm here fighting for this country because I believe in this country.
I'm here today to express my support and solidarity along with everybody else, and to actually witness the dying days of a dying government.
Let's hope so.
They said austerity was necessary, but they're in government. The only reason why they're in office now is because they've given £1 million bond to the DUP, and if it weren't for that, she wouldn't be in power.
So it's been a massive protest today. There's several buses coming up from Bristol. We're going to have a chat with people who are at the protests and on the fringes and see what they made of it. Marvin Rees said that it's not enough just to protest, not just enough to kind of be at the demos, that you need to have real change and take action within the community as well. So we're going to have a chat and see if people think that, what they're going to do after today and how they're going to take things forwards.
I agree that street protests, marches aren't everything. I mean, that's certainly true, because when you look at the most radical transformations of society and interests of ordinary people, they've happened when there's been huge organisation of workers, you know, in their unions, but in their communities and things as well. They've taken massive strikes. They've started to build their own organisations around workplaces, so, you know, started to build their own kind of workers' councils, things like that. Those are the things you can say where it's take it to another level. But at the moment, you know, we can look at street protest marches, bring huge numbers of people together and give them a voice against things like austerity, racism, war, the things that are dividing people and oppressing people, basically.
Since Brexit, this whole country is divided more than ever. It's like rich, poor, left, right, stay, go. Do you know what I mean? It's like I've never seen it more divided. So I think we need to all come together to unite again.
And do you think protests like this have the power to change and bring people together?
I believe in grassroots and activism 100%.
We're too young to vote, so it's a good chance to have our say.
Yeah, that's a good point. And do you think that protests like this can achieve things? Do you think it can create change?
I think it puts pressure on people at the right times, and then if that happens, then it can persuade certain people to start doing different things and people get more involved, and then that can start like a snowball effect.
I don't think protests do achieve anything other than show kind of like there's a certain number of people who are angry enough to actually get out and walk.
You're back in Bristol moving forwards. Will you carry on the fight, kind of as it were? Is there ways in the community that you can do things?
Well, I think there are the consultation meetings that are going to be taking place about libraries closure, which I feel particularly strongly about, having been involved in education.
With tens of thousands showing up to protest and everything going peacefully, it was a big day for the anti-austerity movement. Whilst there are mixed feelings about the power of protest to bring about real political change, it represents a growing desire to hold the government to account. But with the reality of cuts still being felt in the everyday, Bristol faces hard decisions, and communities will need to find ways to provide local solutions while still keeping an eye on the politics of Westminster.